Blue Water doesn't have any current customers on the existing system. South Huron does. South Huron was looking at, and that's the process of identifying what do we need to provide them. It was twofold. One was to make sure that we were able to deal with an aging 30-year-old system. Not to say that it wasn't performing, but it had certain limitations on it. And was there an opportunity to meet future projected growth from all three municipalities? A lot of it's driven by not only making sure that existing catchment areas are being treated, but taking into these larger areas. And again, this is where the council's at this point in time. It hasn't come to any conclusion. That's why I created the ad hoc committee to look at collection systems in, out, or otherwise, and hopefully we can get some sense of that, whether it's prudent to add that capacity now or leave it for some future time.
Councilor Elman had her hand up.
That's fine.
Councilor Scott.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for the presentation and explain things quite nicely. I just wondered who the technical committee was that was reviewing things.
Technical committee for the treatment facility is Peggy, Don Gigerson from South Huron, Frank Kittner from Blue Water, and Dylan.
Dylan has Louis Foss was on the committee.
I haven't heard who it was reviewing. And I think we should just kind of refer this to the committee that's doing the work and let them. Well, but it was a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Councilor Underwood.
Yes, I don't want to kind of refer to the ad hoc committee. I want to table it. No, not table it, to refer it to the ad hoc committee for their information, and they can do with what they want with it.
Get second by Councilor Bonsteel that it be presented to the ad hoc committee, similar to it was presented to us. Second. All in favor of that? That's carried. Thank you. Now item 6.4, CRO report regarding roads easement, towpath accesses to East Point. So I will declare a conflict of interest because I'm a member of the association that is requesting funding from the municipality for this, and as an association member, I believe it's a conflict.
I will as well. It is a gray area. I want to mention it is a gray area. The mayor and I have had independent legal opinion on this from different lawyers. It is a gray area, but we're erring on the side of caution. And so we're going to step away from the table.
So I will turn it over to the deputy mayor. Run the meeting. You'll get us back.
First of all,
Can you make any comments about this in advance of discussion by council?
Or a glass of water. I'm not sure. I tried to illustrate it. This would be an illustration. These two files represent a good portion of the discussions that have been ongoing with the two residential communities. And I want to emphasize, and I'm sure I did it strongly enough in this report, that these recommendations have really been driven by the associations themselves, not by the municipality. The municipality played a role because we own some of the roads and we own some of the easements, so we had a role to play, and we thought we could facilitate, break through some of the tensions that existed. But it's largely a credit to the reps from each residential community that sat down with mayor, I think it was the mayor and the REEF, and myself, I think was the subcommittee from the municipality to try and work through a variety of these things. I think I spoke in a previous report about how we worked through issues like the emergency accesses and so on and so forth. Today was, again, to give council a bit more background about some of the decision making that led us to where we are, and to, in particular, the issue about relates to returning a section of formerly private road in Beach Pines that became public through a kind of a plan planning technicality, back to its former status as a private road, so long as it protects the easement and access rights that residents of Huron Woods were entitled to and are currently registered on their deeds. So there were two aspects about, one was about protecting that. We involved the solicitors for both associations in those discussions. We asked them to work with the municipal solicitor to try and work out the mechanics, the logistics, if you will, of how that could be done. They found a methodology that could do that at relatively inexpensive costs. It's a kind of one legal document that does the trick. I tried to give some background about the return of Beach Pine Road and the liability issue, the utility easement issue, and so on and so forth. You've had an opportunity to read it. I know it's only over the weekend. Whether you have additional questions, I can perhaps speak to.
Okay, thank you, John. Councilor Scott.
I would like to move to accept John Burns' report.
Okay, Councilor Cook, Scott, I guess some good questions. Yes, Councilor, yes.
Simple one, John. Considering the two left with the conflict, we had quite a discussion about that issue, the two of them being part of the association. The association that they were in, have they subsequently, since the last time we talked about this issue, have they dealt with the issue, and everybody's in agreement now again, because there was that little bit of a bump in the road a few months ago?
There was, in the sense of, early on in the discussions, the issue about what's it going to cost to protect these easements came into the discussion. There was, from Beach of Pines, an acknowledgement that a lot of this was on their plate, and that they were coming to the table and felt as good taxpayers that the municipality could play a role, and we offered that. Resolving the issues with Huron Woods was one which was less complicated. They did incur some legal costs to ensure that their rights were properly being protected, even though that was our objective from the
Are
municipality.
they happy about that now?
They are happy about that now. They've indicated if council would be willing, I want to say their fees are in the, I recall correctly, in the $3,000 range. But again, I think it keeps, one thing to keep in mind for all of council is that these associations maintain their road systems, I don't want to say they don't get good value, they get extremely good value for their tax dollars. But we don't maintain those areas. And so this was a bit of quid pro quo approach about that it's reasonable, that it's a benefit in common to all of the residents of those associations, and the municipality helps cover some of those legal costs.
Councilor Underwood.
Yes, in your opinion, John, the implementation of the measures that you've identified in your report, that would take care of pretty well all the problems and all the blood that's going on. I know it's going to take time to heal, but this would pretty well allow us to close the file.
I think so. I think there's some fine-tuning issues. You never say never, but I think the communities have through this process begun to communicate themselves. They're much more interactive with each other. There's issues. If anything, there may be an issue. Maybe Peter Pullman can comment, but I think when we get people to the beach access isn't as clear as people had assumed. We think it's something that can be worked through a dialogue process rather than an enforcement process. And I don't anticipate that being an issue. But there were little things. There was some may recall, there was a little end of the season a year or two ago campfire that was on the beach. Beautiful fall sunset, and people went down to watch that. Well, the rule is there's no fires permitted on the beach. It was well intended, but we need to educate the residents on both sides of what the rules and regs are. And if there's an offense, it doesn't require legal action. It requires notifying your association and a dialogue to how to resolve it. I think the relationship progressed at that point where they can work them out.
Well, just a comment. I mean, this is horribly long overdue. It's been an inordinate amount of work for staff, for council, and thanks also to the working groups that